Imagine a world where the government's promise to protect you falls apart in a moment of crisis. What if your safety depended on solely your own preparedness? Today, we dive into a chilling event that exposes the fragility of government protection and underscores the critical importance of the Second Amendment. Welcome to Learn Something New, where we focus on converting the ordinary into extraordinary. I'm Matt Riley, a passionate advocate for the Second Amendment. With over 17 years as a certified NRA instructor and extensive experience as a trained gunsmith and former gun store owner, I bring a wealth of knowledge to the table. While my channel covers a wide range of topics in personal and professional development, today we're zeroing in on crucial lessons about self-reliance and safety. If you're eager to learn something new and empowering, you're in the right place, so let's get started. Let's take a step back and examine the recent assassination attempt on Donald Trump and what it tells us. To me, the loudest message is that the government can't keep you safe. Let's get on the same page with a couple of unarguable facts. At Trump's rally, a seemingly harmless 20-year-old kid was acting suspicious, and the authorities alerted everyone, including the Secret Service. Despite this, the 20-year-old made it to the roof of the building that was also used for a law enforcement staging area, and he had a rifle. At the same time, witnesses screamed about him for minutes.
Right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down, see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
What's happening? Yeah, look, there he is.
Because we have millions and millions of people in our country that should be here. Dangerous people, criminals. We have criminals.
He's on the roof. He's alive.
We have people
Right
that
here, flat on the roof. He's picking us out. Right flat on the roof.
The highly trained sniper and spotter team waited after getting their sights on him, letting him take multiple shots at Trump. After the shooting started, the Secret Service kept Trump on stage, facing the crowd with an active shooter in play. And keep in mind, this shooter was on a building in a rural area, not urban, so there was like 3 other buildings around. And the shooter was within 200 yards on a rooftop with a rifle. How does that happen? Is this the level of protection that we have come to expect from the Secret Service? I used to think the Secret Service was some of the best, the highly trained, elite protective agents that could handle any situation. Assigned to protect presidents was the highest calling of all the Secret Service agents. How is it that this agent can't even figure out how to holster her firearm? If this represents the best of government protection, it raises some serious concerns for me. I feel more secure knowing I have my FN-45 pistol and honey badger rifle to protect myself and my family. If you're watching this video, I recommend you deeply consider your own personal safety philosophies and measures. You may want to take similar steps that I have. Go buy a pistol and a rifle, and most importantly, learn gun safety and get trained to know how to use them properly. That does not mean YouTube training is good enough. If you own a gun to protect yourself and your family, you should pay at least double, if not triple, than what you did for your guns, ammo, accessories, all put together for just training. Do one large, expensive, multi-day training class to kick off your learning. Then take smaller, less expensive classes, at least once or twice a year. I do this because when the government pushes for gun control laws to keep you safe, this is what their highest level of keep you safe looks like. Now, I'm not saying these Secret Service agents didn't want to protect Donald Trump, or even that they didn't try their best. What I'm saying is giving up your means of protection for yourself and your family, and depending entirely on the government to keep you safe is not only a bad bet, it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary because we're the only country in the world where the people have an individual right to own a firearm. It's because of our Second Amendment that we have the 3 fundamental rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Some in the government believe that stricter gun control, like taking all guns away from people, is necessary for public safety. My opinion is the opposite of that. What the government needs to do is work with the people to keep them safe. I believe the government and the public should work together to enhance safety. The government is the reinforcements to the individual's ability to protect themselves and their families. The government can't be everywhere at all times, and we all know this. The symbiotic relationship the government should have with our citizens should be around working with our citizens to make them stronger, to better protect themselves, not taking away their self-defense tools, making them weaker so we're forced to rely on their inadequate ability to protect us. It's not their fault they can't protect us 100% of the time. They just can't. While the government does its best to protect us, there are limitations to what they can achieve. On June 15th, 2024, a tragic shooting occurred at the Brooklands Plaza Splash Pad in Rochester Hills, Michigan, just 20 minutes from my house, and where my wife and I have taken our 3-year-old daughter to multiple times. 9 people were shot, including 2 children under 10 years old. The police response time to this shooting at the splash pad was remarkably quick. The first deputy arrived on the scene within 2 minutes of the 911 call, which was after the shooter calmly walked to his car and drove away. You may have heard the phrase, when second counts, the police are only minutes away. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying having a gun is guaranteed safety, but not having a gun when you need one guarantees you'll be unsafe. Sadly, anti-gun groups and politicians were quick to jump on the assassination attempt to push their anti-gun agendas. Like Senator Heidi Campbell, who in a tweet that she later deleted said this: "Once again, it's the guns. He would not have been shot at all if the shooter hadn't had a gun in his hands." It's that simple. If you care about your candidate, do something about your public health gun crisis. And do something doesn't mean donating to NRA-endorsed candidates. I find it ironic that she's telling us to do something when in this situation the government failed to do something before the shooter started shooting. Then there's this tweet from the New Yorkers Against Gun Violence, an anti-Second Amendment group. If gun violence can impact one of the most protected people in the world, protected by some of the most highly trained armed guards in the world, it's clear that more guns and easier access do not make us safer, and that gun carrying in public is dangerous and deadly. What's ironic there is that not a single gun law would have stopped this. Apparently, he got the gun legally. He used a .223 AR-15. If you ban all AR-15s, he would have still used a bolt action. If you ban all bolt action rifles, he could have easily used a handgun. He was less than 200 yards away. I've done that shot with a handgun multiple times. And yes, I'm a highly trained, educated, expert shooter, which most of America is not. So let's say 1 out of 10,000 Americans could make that shot with a pistol. America roughly has 331 million people. That means, by my estimation, 33,100 people could make that shot with a pistol. Actually, I take that back. There is a law that could have stopped the Trump assassination attempt. The Ban All Guns law, which in my opinion is the underlying goal of most anti-Second Amendment groups. If you go down the logical progression of their gun control laws, the only answer that can be remotely effective is banning all guns. The Ban All Gun law is not a reality. The reality is there is over 400 million guns in this country. So if even there is a law on paper that bans all guns, how are you going to go out and get those guns? You just can't. With over 400 million guns in America and a population of roughly 331 million people, let's put that into some perspective. Imagine every person in the country owning a gun. We would still have about 70 million guns left over, which is enough to give every adult in Canada, Australia, and the UK a firearm. This demonstrates the impracticality of attempting to remove all guns from our country. So I go back to my original statement. There isn't a single gun law that would have prevented this. So like I said at the beginning of the video, the government can't keep you safe. So get a gun, learn gun safety, get quality professional training, because you're the only one who can keep you and your family safe. The first sentence of the Second Amendment reads, "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, and the right for the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." Many anti-gun folks say a well-regulated militia is referring to state-regulated military forces, such as the National Guard and other organized military professionals. In my opinion, you are the militia. The only person responsible for your safety is you, and not because you want to be, or I want to be, but because you have to be. The only person who is guaranteed to be there when it really truly matters is you. So when the Second Amendment says a well-regulated militia, it's not talking about the army, it's not talking about the police, it's talking about you and me. I am the militia. You are the militia, and together we the people are the militia. If you made it this far in the video, we most likely agree that at least one thing is certain. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you. Now you can help do your part for free by liking the video, commenting in the comment, and subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, share this video with at least one person. Together, we can advocate for the protection of our Second Amendment rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description for useful resources. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.